What's going on, my peoples? And I go by the name the Sorcerer. I'm here just to give you a little bit of an update, an insight of what's been going on. And I haven't been doing much readings as I usually have, as I've taken a little bit of a break. But I'm also wanted to talk about and give you awareness of what's been going on. I myself have gone through a lot of spiritual activations, which has really activated many gifts, as well as going through a period of my own self reflection. And it was important for me to just take a stop before I even considered going forth with any more readings, because I felt like it's part of the integrity is to make sure that if I'm not okay, I don't feel like it's right for me to put anything out there. The second part was there are a lot of things that were happening behind the scenes. Some were great and some that were challenging for me. I'll tell you what's the challenging parts of me, and then I'll tell you that the great things. So the things that were challenging were that obviously you guys know that or if you do not know, I do rituals, I help people, and most of the time it's a lot of energy, right? And it takes a lot out of you. But one thing that I've picked up on over the last recent weeks was that I felt that there was some type of spiritual attack. It felt very much like it was more than just forces within people's. It felt very much of like different energies, entities that truly wanted to really that will test me in a way to sort of bring me down, or to bring me down to their vibrations, or even siphon the energy. Yeah, it's a good try, seeing that I'm spiritually protected, but at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily mean that, I was in any shape or way 100% after that. I had to make sure that I had to repivot, and parts of the energy itself was really draining. In fact, it was draining for me and my wife. So before I even got into making any content, I had to make sure I was okay. The entities, I don't know if you guys know, but entities come in different sizes, shapes, energies. They are multi-dimensional beings that effectively do try to get you off center, take your energy, or even try to enter your energy. Hence is why I made sure that I didn't want to even put anything out at that time. One thing I've learned about the experience, and I wanted to showcase to you, is that no matter how much light that you bring to the world, there is always going to be shadows that will try and follow you. And what do I mean by this? Your light is so attractive that your energy is attracted to those that are of a lower vibration. This could be seen as energy vampires. This could be seen as people that just generally have an evil eye, or people that actually will try to attempt certain sabotages towards you. I myself was, in essence, a victim, and I found with great strength to overcome these certain things. And this is what happens when you are a person within this space, right? I myself, I do entity removals, extractions, I remove curses as part of my ritual work for clients. Obviously, there are forces out there that will try to take you out, or try to destroy what you have built, even try to destroy the people around you. For someone like myself, it was just a bit of a testing moment during that time. But the one thing I will say is that you're now seeing a version of me that's strong, that's even more spiritually protected, that's going to give more insights about these type of situations. That itself is important to showcase awareness. So if you are dealing with things such as spiritual attacks, or if you've had to deal with these things, or you feel like there is a bloodline curse in your family, a generational curse, or someone's done a hex on you, drop me a message on my Instagram or TikTok, or even email me. It's going to be in the description of this particular video, but it's important for me to give awareness that these things happen, and it doesn't matter where you are in the your settings in life. This could be that I'm obviously an occult specialist. I myself have to always be on my P's and Q's, as I do not want to fall in the vulnerability of anybody taking advantage of my energies or trying to change things. And this is something that I feel very proudly of, and itself I feel a great sense of pride, because I followed the steps, as well as me and my wife, and we've come from the situation a lot more stronger. In fact, I'm very proud to say that it's made me realize even more how much she means to me, especially when you get, well, I'll be real, especially when you're in a situation like that, you often look at the people or the person that you love, and you realize how much strength you can come from the situation. And it's brought us even stronger together. And it's even made our will, our motivation to make sure that if anybody's been affected around this situation, like anyone tries to do these type of like spiritual foul play, or even attempt to hurt somebody in a hex or anything like that, we're even more driven to help those. Now, the energy that we work on is actually it's strong as well. In fact, the work that we do, the practices that we do, is always there to make sure that you yourself are, once you have been cleansed of any type of attack, that you're also protected. So, as I said, if you've gone through any type of difficulty, or if you've gone through a series where you've experienced something like was what I said, when I say spiritual attacks, or somebody tries to hex you, you can see that there's a repeated pattern. You can see that you have, your mind is essentially being invaded with certain thoughts. There is a feeling like you're restricted in terms of your breathing. There's also a feeling where yourself, in terms of your own energy, a sense of not feeling liberated. You feel sick from it, physically sick, mentally as well. You can feel like you don't have liberty, and there is an attachment around your energy, or there's a general situation where there are repeated cycles where you feel like it's abnormal, where it doesn't feel as if you yourself can be normal. These certain hexes can often be a repeat pattern for generations. So, for example, let's just say a family that constantly has some type of misfortune, or a repeated misfortune. It's a generational curse, or it's a bloodline curse. These things do happen. People often will use pictures, names, etc., etc. So, if these are things that, another thing is, most of the time, a lot of these situations happen to people that know of you or within your circles. It's not so much so a factor of it's more common that is someone that knows you rather than somebody that doesn't know you. All right, so that's just another bit of information. But yes, if you feel like you've been affected over situations like this, drop me a private message on my Instagram or TikTok, or even email me. I get things done. I utilize that, and I think I have a different perspective about the situation. In fact, I feel grateful, because when you have when there's an attempt, you realize that everything that I've said, even my practices, even in my spiritual protection, I live it, I say it, I experience it, right? And it's the same thing for like my family, my loved ones, my wife, and it's even made me feel like I will be better. I will get stronger. And if anything, I'm more protected. So, yeah, just want to let you guys know what's been going on. And if you want me to speak more about things such as bloodline curses or like hexing or what happens during a hex or what happens if you've been at the end of it, and what to do, just let me know, because I will provide more content in regards towards these type of things such as spiritual protection. Okay, all right. So that was just giving you an update, and I will speak to you soon. I'll be doing more readings, and I'll be hopefully making more content where I talk more. All right. As always, take care, sorcerer.